through from 10th. The rookies, Bastianini and Martin. Here we go, folks. Motogp 2021 warm-up lap is about to get underway. We can barely contain our excitement here in the commentary box. Fabio Quartararo lines up on the front row, second on the grid. Here is Pecco Bagnaia, just making sure everything's set. T1 is underway. The Bawa Grand Prix of Qatar is go. Not a great start initially for Bagnaia. Look at Miller coming through for the second row. The Ducati started 14th. He's already up inside the top three. The Ducati launch device is absolutely out of this world. When Ducati start device is phenomenal. They've got 4 bikes inside the top 4. The Aprilia-related Spargo is also
by the Ducatis. Former Ducati man Danilo Petrucci's race has come to an end so early. Hope he's all right. Immediately Zach.
They wanted to be. Then the pole man Pecco Bagnaia got the whole shot. A great launch by Miller, but nobody nailed the start quite like himself inside that top 4 immediately. Incredible launch.
Aleix Espargaro is about to be passed by Fabio Quartararo. He had to do that. Rossi's big steep as Danilo Petrucci trudges away in the gravel trap.
Yeah, not what he needed. He needed a race under his belt to get crucial. Great inroads at the moment. They're still hovering around 9th and 10th place. Pecco Bagnaia started the week out of gap already on Jack place.
There is Jorge Martin then in 4th place, the Pramac Ducati man, number 89 behind 5, Zarco. What a start it was. On Ducati, down the start finish straight. Who's last at the breakers? Into turn 1. Brilliant from Zarco.
There's nothing that's such a vast performance advantage. Bagnaia leads at the end of the first lap of the season by almost 7/10 of a second. Leader and Jorge Martin off that sensational start. It's just come up on our screens. No jump start. Jorge Martin will
absolutely sensational. There he is, number 89, up into 4th. He said, I'm going to try and learn in this race and finish it. Well, it's just part.
Or they think the Ducatis might run into some rear grip problems late on. Well, they need that scenario right now because the Ducatis
will only pass on the straight. Well, that was almost out of the window straight away there from Maverick Vinales, who we're on board with. They're ahead of Rossi. Then it's the Suzuki.
One of the best starts I think we've ever seen. We're on board then now with Maverick Vinales, looking ahead at his teammate Fabio Quartararo.
Places behind Oliveira. Again, Maverick Vinales having a look at the inside of Fabio Quartararo.
For the Italian, a 1:55.321. Still that advantage he had like on lap 1 of 6/10 of a second.
This lap, but he's got to be careful. He did say yesterday he can't go too fast at the front of this race, otherwise by
nightmare. Shocker on the opening night for Franco Morbidelli. Something happened to him on that first lap as well, second lap rather, because Lecco owner Alex Martin
and Fabio Quartararo, the door was just left slightly open from the rookie Martin, and through he goes.
Yeah, there was something happened to Morbidelli on that second lap, Steve, 19th place.
There is Valentino Rossi just ahead of the 2 Suzuki still, so
yeah, Vinales has got Martin as well.
Valentino Rossi there now being hounded by Alex Rins. He was wide there, Rossi, and that was easy enough for Rins to pick him off. So Alex Rins then moves up. Former teammates on screen. Pol Espargaro, Repsol Honda rider, just ahead at the moment of Brad Binder. Stefan Bradl just behind them as well.
A little bit to maintain that pace. He did say yesterday he was a little bit concerned about the first few laps of the full fuel tank at Aleix Espargaro. He's gone from 5th to...
Side of Valentino Rossi. So Mir now up into 8th place. Now remember, folks, the Suzukis are world champions for very good reason.
54.928. It's the gap between him and Jack Miller in 3rd place. It's just around.
And he's thinking, I'm not going to go for it right now. I'll let the race come to me. As Rins, he had to make that move. He had to make it stick at turn 6. A second quicker than Pecco Bagnaia on that last lap. And the gap at the front, as you can see, has come down.
You see, Bagnaia is not entertained. I do drop the hammer and get into 54 too quickly, well then I might hit those rear grip problems that everybody fears in the Ducati.
The Suzukis and co to join in, and we may well have 7 or 8 riders in this. As it is at the moment, the early stages, it's...
I said yesterday, if you try and escape and push too hard at the start of the race, there's a risk you might not get
Quartararo makes a move. That was... Is it a matter of time before Quartararo finds a way through? Of course, Matt, they've got to do this in
outlets to keep him behind the slipstream.
Oh, here he comes. Here comes the move. That was beautifully done from Fabio Quartararo.
He lined that all up into Fabio Quartararo there, because when Miller winds up the whip to 6th gear on that Ducati, although Quartararo's got pretty good drive, hasn't he?
Quartararo's not having it there. He's closing the door. Excellent stuff from the Frenchman.
Oh, that was a game of dare and chance on the
patient work at the end of the last lap and the start of this one from Fabio Quartararo. He had to do that. Now Maverick Vinales has just watched all of that on
Morbidelli, who's having an absolutely awful, dreadful start to 2021. What happened to him? 7th on the grid, 16th.
He can't get into the 55s. There's definitely a problem, because Franco Morbidelli, that is just not reflectable now. We're on board here with Jack Miller looking at Fabio Quartararo up ahead.
Oliveira threatened a strong race.
A bike noise, I'm sure, unless I'm hearing things, Matt, but I thought I just heard. We have. Taka Nakagami's gone down.
Drives nowhere near good enough from Taka Nakagami. Yeah, and the front end just tucking out right front of him. I just wonder if he maybe clipped a bit of curb on the inside. Go.
We come across the line then to complete lap 7. It's still number 63, Bagnaia, who leads this one, the Italian from fellow Frenchman, Fabio Quartararo. Here comes the move from Maverick Vinales on his good friend Jack Miller. Miller fading, he's falling back.
At the moment, just trying to save a bit of tyre.
You never know.
It's hard to read what's going through his mind. I mean, there's such a long way to go. And
It's difficult to call, Matt, because at the end of last year, Jack Miller matured so much. He used his head in races. Is this a sign that he...
Alex Rins has put some clear daylight between himself and his Suzuki teammate Joan Mir. The gap between the two GSX-RRs is now nearly a second. About a fellow rookie check, Bastianini 16th and Luca Marini 17th.
The two factory Yamahas are closing now on Johann Zarco. They have worked beautifully to get back on terms again.
But Vinales knows he doesn't have to take any silly risks to get through on Quartararo, because Fabio's paid right on cue now. He's going to attack Quartararo, isn't he? No, he's not. But this is a good position for Maverick Vinales to be in, because he knows that Fabio
The tail of Jack Miller,
which can spell trouble, because if Alex Rins is there at this stage of the Grand Prix, we know how good he is with it.
Vinales looks like, doesn't he, that he's got the better speed of the two Yamaha riders at the moment. He wants to make sure that
we're just starting to perhaps stretch away from Fabio Quartararo.
Fascinating race.
So as Will, the Frenchman will know he's right there on his case.
Bagnaia still leads though. 10th or so in it, back to gone.
Yeah, Johann Zarco, you've got to say, he's doing an excellent job here. He's kept his powder dry, used the power of the Ducati at first corner. He really is strong, a lot of confidence in that front tyre. Going into turn 1, braking from well over 3.
Alex Rins, a 54.9, fastest man on that last lap.
Aleix Espargaro finally dispensed of Martin.
Oh, look, not quite. It's coming. Rins fancies this one. He's done brilliant work from 9th on the grid.
Wasn't suggesting they've been sandbagging, but he knew the threat that Rins was going to pose. So many riders talked last night about